Dart skill presents rounding up 1. A number in the decimal or the base 10 system consists of digits representing different place values. The digit on the far right is the ones place, the digit before it is the tens place, the one before it is the hundreds place, the one before it is the thousands place, the one before it is the 10,000s place, and so on. So if you have a 4, say for example in the 10,000s place, this 4 actually represents the number 40,000. That's what you get when you multiply 4 with 10,000. Similarly, a 2 in the thousands place has got a value of 2,000. That's the product of 2 and 1,000. And a 5 in the hundreds place means the number has got 5 hundreds. And let's say a 6 in the tens place indicates 60. 6 tens is the same as 60. And finally, the digit in the ones place has got the same value as itself because a number times 1 is the number itself. And the value of the number is what you get when you multiply each one of the digits with its respective place value and add them up. So we say this number is 4 10,000s or 40,000, another 2,000, that makes it 42,569. Rounding is the process in which a number is changed to its nearest 10 or 100 or 1000 or 10,000 and so on. Let's say you want to round the number 4,837 to the nearest 10, to the nearest 100 and to the nearest 1000. Because this number doesn't have a 10,000th digit in it, we are going to skip this part. We will do that on another number. And now this number 4,837 is between 4,830 and 4,840. So the nearest 10, because this is a 7 out here, is 4,840 because it's closer to 40 than to 30. Similarly, to the nearest 100, this number is 837, obviously between 800 and 900, and because you have a 37 and that's closer to 800 than to 900, the nearest 100 for this number is 4,800. And then if you look at the thousands place, it's a 4, which means this number is between 4,000 and 5,000. And because it's 837 more than 4,000, 5,000 is closer to this number as compared to 4,000. Therefore, this rounds to 5,000 as its nearest 1,000. So let's review the steps of rounding. If you want to round a number to its nearest 10, look at the tens digit. On this number we have a 3. Now everything before that digit remains unchanged. So we have a 4 and a 8. Now depending on the digit after it, if it's 5 or more, let me write that down. If this is 5 or more, you round this digit to the next higher digit. In this case, this is 7, so the 3 changes to a 4. Everything after the digit you are rounding changes to 0. So we have a 0 here. And if the digit immediately after is 4 or less, the digit doesn't change. Let's see if we could apply the same rule to round it to the nearest 100. This is the hundreds place. Everything before it remains unchanged. We have a 4 here. Everything after it changes to 0. We have 0, 0. Now because the digit next to the 8 is 3, which is 4 or less, the 8 remains unchanged. We have 4800. Similarly to the nearest 1000, which is this digit, there's nothing before it, everything after it changes to 0, and then because this is a 8 which is 5 or more, the 4 rounds up to a 5. Let's try another one. Let's try and round the number 75,194 to its nearest 10, nearest 100, nearest 1000, and this time to its nearest 10,000 as well. Let's start with the nearest 10. If you look at the tens place, it's a 9. The digit after that is a 4, therefore the 9 stays the same. The 4 changes to a 0, and everything before it remains unchanged. So we have 75,190 as its nearest 10. How about the nearest 100? This is the hundreds place. Everything before it remains unchanged. So let's start with 75. And then because the digit after it is a 9, so this 1 rounds up to a 2. And then everything after it is a 0. So we say the nearest 100 to 75,194 is 75,200. Similarly, the nearest 1000, which is this place, is 7. The digit after the 5 is a 1, therefore the 5 stays the same, and everything after it changes to 0. So the nearest 1000 is 75,000, and then finally to the nearest 10,000, everything after the digit, you're rounding, this time this digit, is a 0. So we have 4 zeros in the end, and then because this is a 5, the digit next to it, the 7 rounds up to a 8. So we say the nearest 10,000 to 75,194 is 80,000. So as we can see over here, we can have different answers to a rounding problem, the same number being rounded depending on to which place value it's being rounded to.